I want to start this review off by saying that I am a big fan of Chris Stuckmann. I have been following his YouTube channel for 15 years now. Ever since 2010, I believe I have been a fan of his videos, and I think that Chris has done a lot for YouTube. I was excited to see what he was going to do with Shelby Oaks, his first feature film. I'm not gonna judge this film as somebody who directed a lot of films. It's not a perfect movie, but I did enjoy watching Shelby Oaks. I had a great experience in the theaters today, and I really like this movie overall. The movie fumbles a bit near the end. Maybe it's 10 minutes too long, but I never was bored throughout this movie. I thought that the performances were strong, the direction was really good. The script could have been a little bit better, it could have been polished a little bit more, but overall, I thought that this was a good first directorial effort. I think that Chris Stuckmann has a future in filmmaking. And yeah, I think that this movie is a solid, good time overall. I was pleasantly surprised by Shelby Oaks. Let's start with the acting. Camille Sullivan, I thought, was the best part of this movie by far. She carries the movie on her shoulders, and she is great in every scene she's in. I thought that she was a strong female character, a capable lead, and she showed a lot of good emotion, and I was attached to her character as well. Sarah Dern, who plays Riley, her sister, I thought was pretty good as well. We don't see Riley as much as Camille Sullivan here, but I think that the actress that plays Riley does a good job in the scenes that she's in. Keith David is also good in the film, although he doesn't have much to do or work with. His dialogue is a little bit weak. But his scene is overall good. Yeah, the acting I have no problem with in this film. I think the acting is solid, and I think that Chris directed his actors really well. The movie also has chilling atmosphere and good scares. I was impressed with the scares in this movie and the creatures. There are some creatures in the movie that I think are pretty scary and well done. I didn't think that the budget here was a restraint for Chris. I think that he really did a good job with the budget that he had to work with, and he delivered, I think, on the scares and on the creatures' effects in this movie. I didn't think any of the effects were bad. I thought that they were well done. And the gore, while there's a little bit of it, like not a lot, is also pretty good here. The movie also draws you in fairly early on. I was interested in the mystery, and I liked the first 20 minutes of the movie. I liked that it was at first found footage, and then it becomes like a real movie past the title card, Shelby Oaks, which is like 20 minutes past the starting point of this movie, which I thought was creative. I like the beginning. I like the entire mystery. I didn't think the answer of the mystery was as good as the mystery itself, unfortunately. But overall, I was interested in Camille Sullivan's plight here. I was interested in her character, and I wanted her to find her missing sister. And I wanted to know more a little bit about Shelby Oaks. We know that it's an abandoned town, but I don't really know why it was abandoned, and I would have liked to know more about this ghost town. And I like that the movie takes place there, and I think that the atmosphere of the film is very good. The camera shots are really well done as well. I think that this movie is really well directed. Like, from a directing standpoint alone, I think that Chris knows how to direct a film, and he does a good job here. Where this movie lacks, I think, a little bit is in the script and the story. Some things in the story don't make much sense when you look back at the film. There's a suicide that happens in the movie. I'm not gonna say who, but it's unexpected. I would have liked to have known more about this character. I don't know, it just came out of left field, and it was a bit unresolved. Also, I don't understand why she goes into Shelby Oaks alone. Her husband doesn't do much throughout the movie, and I don't know if this was because of the budget that Chris had. Maybe he couldn't afford to pay all of the actors throughout the movie. That's possible. She does questionable things throughout the film, and I sometimes just wonder why Chris made these decisions. But overall, most of the story I think is entertaining. The script I think could have been polished maybe a little bit more, and the dialogue isn't always all that interesting or like effective. I think that there's a lot of exposition in this film, and I don't think the dialogue is the strong point of the film, to be quite honest with you. And a lot of people are saying that Chris should maybe direct the next future film and not write the script, and I think I would agree with that. I think that he could, for his second future, just direct something that somebody else wrote. But overall, I didn't mind the pacing in the movie. I know that the budget sort of restrains what you can do with the story. I understand that, and I don't hate the pacing of this movie. This movie is also very derivative of other things. Like I thought about The Witch and Hereditary and Blair Witch and Rosemary's Baby even. It borrows elements from other horror movies for sure, but Black Phone 2 did the same thing. You just have to expect that when you watch a new movie nowadays, and that's okay. I know Chris loves movies like the rest of us, so he's gonna cherry pick from other things. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, the last 10 minutes of the film is pretty lackluster. I think that it should have ended a different way. Maybe 10 minutes prior, there's a scene where this movie could have ended. And I think that it was maybe the perfect place for it to end. It's a small spoiler. I just say that it could have ended at a hospital, to be honest with you, because the ending just feels out of place. I was underwhelmed by the ending. You can say that maybe the wrap up a bit over the top and it was goofy, and yeah, it was a bit goofy, but I didn't mind the goofiness. And here the answer is just fine. Was all that interesting or satisfying? It doesn't matter to me. I think that the previous 80 minutes of the film worked. So I'd give this movie a B. I think it's a solid, good time. Just don't go in expecting like the greatest horror movie in the past 10 years. It's not that. It's just a good time on the movies, and I think this is a good directorial debut. And I can't wait to see what Chris Stuckmann does next. So let me know what you thought about Shelby Oaks down in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.